Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four.
I don't know what pitch actually that next bit comes in on.
No, but I'm pretty sure we've started with what the end one is as well.
But yes, thank you very much for joining us here on Cutscene and our review of Superman again, because I watched it for a second time last Friday. And you're right. The second time round, Lex Luthor does have a better performance.
Nope, that's not what we're here to
I just feel like you gotta see Superman twice.
Come on, DC boy. It's time to jump over into these Marvel waters.
Okay, you're right. So we're actually here to review The Incredibles live-action adaptation. It's got all your favorites. It's got retro superheroes. Mm-hmm. It's got Michael Giacchino doing the score.
It's got someone who stretches.
It's got a stretchy guy. It's got a family dynamic.
Sure has.
Yes, no, we're reviewing Fantastic Four. Marvel's Fantastic Four.
If you can't tell, the DC boy here is unhappy because he's got to say positive things about a Marvel property.
I'm not going to say positive things. It's a snooze fest.
That's not what you said to me when we finished watching this film.
It was good. It was a good movie. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's Fantastic Four, The First Steps. And, okay, I'm going to kick things off here. Before going to see the movie, I was listening to a podcast that was talking about the critics' reviews, because the critic reviews had dropped for the movie on Tuesday. I think that's when the embargo lifted. So on Wednesday, everyone was sort of correlating all of that, and Rotten Tomatoes kicked out its final first wave score of critic reviews. And I am very surprised to learn, and I was surprised to hear yesterday, but I'm even more surprised by it now. The percentage score was higher than that of Superman.
Oh, okay. Well, this is not me making this about tribalism, but I'm very happy you did.
I'm not making it about tribalism. I am surprised because I liked Superman way more than I liked Fantastic Four. And I enjoyed Fantastic Four. I had a very good time with it. It lost me a little bit towards the end of the second act. But I did enjoy it. But I guess with Superman is what we talked about in that last episode, which is if you're not on board for those first 5 minutes, it's going to lose you. Whereas I think this is, I saw one of the reviews say this is a very safe movie. And it is a very safe movie. It's and very much in that Marvel Studios templates where they do have a in-house style. And this movie very much plays within that in-house style and makes a fun movie. I used to describe Marvel Studios as the 4-star movie machine. Sometimes, accidentally, it would kick out a 5-star movie. Sometimes there would go something wrong in the machines and a 3-star movie would come out of it. But broadly, every movie that came out, 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars. And I really wanted to be able to come onto this show and say, fantastic 4 stars, but I don't think it's a 4-star movie. Like, it's I think like 3.5.
3.5. If you get into the weeds, maybe a 3.3. I think 3.25, you're being harsh. 3.5 feels, maybe 3.5 feels right.
3.5 feels fair.
But you're right, yeah. Of the 30 films that Marvel have spewed out, this is one of those films. And it feels different because what is really... This is a spoiler-free, by the way.
Yeah.
We will have a spoiler-full version over on Cutscene's Patreon, patreon.com/cutscene, where you can get loads more nonsense from us talking about the spoiler-full review of Superman. Mm-hmm. Did I say that right? The spoiler-full review of Superman. Did I say full review?
You did, yeah. You said full review.
It's a portmanteau thing. And all of our worst movie ever series so far.
Yeah, next week it's Justice League. Justice League, that is.
If it doesn't kill us first.
Yeah, we've already recorded 4 hours of it and we haven't finished the movie yet.
Yeah, it's nearly finished us. But it feels different because it is a standalone movie. Mm-hmm. Very little in this film interconnects with anything else in the MCU.
No, because it's set on a completely different world that's not a spoiler territory. That has been announced ahead of time. This is a separate world, a separate universe to the MCU universe we've had since 2008.
The multiverse allows us to do narrative tricks like this. But I don't think this is a spoiler at all, because I wish I knew this before I went in, because every time there was a bit of maybe space travel or some teleportation things being used, my mind would go, okay, here's where they meet the X-Men. Here's where they meet one of the Captain Americas.
Yeah.
But no, there is nothing connecting to the pre-existing MCU.
Yeah.
Even in the end credits.
And even within all of that, you've got, like, to make it feel different, visually this film looks different from all of the other MCU movies. For starters, the visual effects are quite good, which has not been Marvel's MO since 2020. Post-Endgame, they've really not bothered with making good CGI. This one, though, I would say CGI very solid throughout.
The strengths of this film is the casting. I think everyone is great in their roles.
And you hate Pedro Pascal.
I do not. I love the guy. I just don't think he is a big enough name to put on the top of a movie poster and get a significant audience.
It's an insane take.
Honestly, this is like people said to me, oh no, Claudio Castagnoli, bona fide main eventer.
Who said that?
Oh, everyone used to say it about Cesaro. I'm like, I like the guy. I really love the guy. He's a great wrestler. But he's not a main eventer in a John Cena WrestleMania. Would you have Pedro Pascal main event WrestleMania Night 2?
Yes, I would. Because if you come and you're not one of our wrestling viewers, which I know some of you aren't, sorry for all of this, but casting Pedro Pascal in this movie is like having a celebrity match at WrestleMania. You're doing it to bring in the casuals. He has an audience. He has a following. And that's why I think the casting of this movie is so smart, because you've picked the hottest guy in Pedro Pascal, both figuratively and literally in terms of that. You have got the big hot thing from Stranger Things in Joseph Quinn, and you've also got the big hot thing from The Bear. You have cherry-picked like the hot things from hot products and put them all together along with Vanessa Kirby, who I'm sure she's been in, like, I don't know, The Crown maybe.
She's in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
In which she's very good as well. But yeah, all four of them are great, so that's a really big strength.
Thumbs up.
I think the production design in general is superb. That is the biggest departure from the MCU. It's got a real visual identity. It's a sort of throwback to the 50s, 60s, maybe.
Yeah,
more 50s.
I'd say it's 50s. It's timely of the original Fantastic Four's release. Like when...
Well, that's 60s.
Yeah, and this has got a very 60s vibe to it. It's very 60s future.
Yeah, I would say it's more 50s though, because 60s is psychedelic.
No, I'd say this
the
is
breaking out of
I'd say it's
things.
more 60s. Certainly with people's hairstyles.
I guess the Ted Gilbert show, of which Mark Gaddis hosts, is a direct rip on the Beatles.
Johnny Carson.
No, the Ed Sullivan.
Oh, Ed
show.
Sullivan, yeah.
So that's sort of set up in the film. But this is the first superhero film, or first film in general for a while, and I'm including Superman in this, that I've wanted to go and buy the toys for.
Really? And you wanted to buy Superman toys?
Yeah, but not in the same way.
Okay.
Like the Fantastic Car, the what's it? Is it the Excelsior space? What's it called?
Yeah, the Excelsior, yeah.
The spaceship.
A very cute name for it, by the way.
Yeah, because of Stan Lee. Just the Things design. I love the way he looks. He looks really, really tactile. I want the things in this movie as physical things.
Here's my first big question for you. Where are you ranking this in the Fantastic Four movies we've had thus far? Like the 4 Fantastic Four movies, 5 if you include the 90s one. Where are you ranking it?
Well, obviously it's near the top. It's got to be
It's near the top.
It's got to be number 1, hasn't it?
Yeah.
No, I like the Tim Story ones, but
Yeah.
they are of an age where superhero movies were embarrassed to be superhero movies.
And you cast Hornblower.
Yeah, and although that does have Vic Mackey, Michael,
Yeah.
which is the best thing casting of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I do like your man from The Bear in this Cousin.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He never gets through the anger. He is definitely more of the gentle giant interpretation. He never really loses his cool, apart from a very funny bit very near the end. But he never raises his voice.
No. Yeah, he's more of a chill thing.
You've also got Natasha Lyonne playing the...
I didn't know she was in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Yeah.
Very pleasant surprise. In the comics, she is, of course, blind. But I never got that vibe here.
Well, so the reason that she is blind in the comics is because Ben's such a hideous monster creature. But this version, we have the Fantastic Four. And that's she falls in love with him because she's blind. Love is blind. It doesn't actually matter that Ben is made of rocks because she's got a connection to him as a person. And that's the beauty of their relationship. But this version of the Fantastic Four here is they are beloved people. The Thing, no one is afraid of Ben Grimm. No one's afraid of the Thing. He is not this creature that walks around the streets of New York. This, the first opening, sort of 5-10 minutes of the film are just setting up how much this Earth, this world that we're on, 828, adores the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And the kids love him. They're like, pick up a car. And he does a bit of test of strength stuff. Yeah, I really personally love I can't remember her name. It's not Linda. You know, the Ben's love interest.
Oh, right. Yeah. I can't remember.
Helen. Something like that. But that's not really delved into. But he does have some sort of self-confidence issues in the film.
Yeah,
so he is aware that this isn't the handsome man he once used to be.
No. And also, I really enjoy the fact that this film doesn't have a origin story. It is an origins movie, but much in the same way they have done with characters like Spider-Man in the MCU iteration of the character. And as we saw with Superman a couple of weeks ago, people know what the Fantastic Four origin story is. People are, they've been around for so long. They're sort of that ingrained within pop culture, Marvel's first family, that people know what the origin story of the Fantastic Four is. So we don't need to spend the first 20 minutes of the movie going through the steps, those first steps into turning them into the Fantastic Four. They come already fully formed, but very cleverly they do it diegetically in giving you the origin story through like newsreels and things like that about how they went off into space and came back with superpowers.
Well, they say in the Ted Gilbert, Ed Sullivan style show, this is a 4-year anniversary of the Fantastic Four becoming a thing. Isn't that interesting how we've got the 4 and the 4 there? 2 weeks after Superman, which uses the 3s as the big 300 years, 3 hours, to reflect the Trinity there.
Well, that's not what it's for.
What is it for?
Well, James Gunn was asked about this and he was like, I just picked a number.
No, I've read an interview where he said, "Oh yeah, it's a thing. You got to figure it out."
No, I read an interview with him. It was like, I just had to pick a number, and it was like 3 just ties in quite nicely.
Yeah, it does.
it's
a meaningful number.
No, what does it mean is it ties in nicely. Is in it's got a nice sound to it. It's got a nice shape to it. But it's a meaningless number.
Well, 4
in this one is very much like this is the 4th anniversary.
The number 4 is littered throughout this movie in quite a nice way. Sorry, and but I've not got 4 things I was gonna say that I really liked annoyingly. But the third thing was the score. I think the MCU in general phones it in with music.
Yeah, I'd say so.
They've got a couple of absolute bangers. Obviously, the Avengers theme, the
Captain
Guardians one, maybe the Captain America one, but mostly it is just there's some orchestra doing stuff in the background. You don't really notice it.
Which is like a problem, I'd say, is the Hollywood blockbuster machine as a whole. Like Marvel is very bad for this, but the way that you lay music down in movies is you put down a temp track. And when you have a temp track, usually it's just taken from another film. And then the sort of story goes is that directors then just get used to hearing that score over again. So that when it comes to writing the score, they're like, just make it sound like this one. And because of that, every score just sounds the same.
Yeah, because they're cutting the film to this temp track.
But now with this one, they have gone almost out of their way to make this feel very unique to it. And the way that the visual styling is very unique to this as compared to Captain America, the Red Hulk one, what was called? What was that called again? Brave New World.
Brave New World.
Like this is supposed to really stand out. And it's I think it really does work. I think it really does work from that. And here's my big takeaway from the movie. I think the Fantastic Four have the comfiest costumes of any MCU or any comic book movie character ever. They're wrestling. They're saving the world in jumpers, in pullovers, in some cases cardigans. They have got the. If I was doing cosplay, I'd want to do cosplay of the Fantastic Four. Comfy.
Again, I think it ties into the tactileness of the production design, of which I'm including costumes in that. Well, it feels like you can feel the costumes. They look comfy. They look cotton soft.
Yeah.
The whole Baxter Building. It's not called the Baxter Building. It's like the Future Foundation building.
They do call it the Baxter Building.
They do call it the Baxter Building. But everything in there, the technology is mostly on knobs and dials. And Reed doesn't have a big computer. He's got a giant blackboard that coolly curves up at the sides because, and they've thought about this, he's got really long extendable arms so he can do these really long equations.
Yeah, I think it will come as the surprise to no one that this is from the director who did a lot of work on WandaVision. Like that was his project, and he's kind of carried over a lot of that, particularly the 60s shtick part of that one. So not so much the Bewitched, the first 2 episodes in the black and white, the ones that come after that when he was like very like it does feel like actually Bewitched is like probably the best one to use. It does feel like that 60s sitcom style, and it may just be because I'm really loving Andor at the moment, but I love that like the 70s future that TV show has. So this has got that 60s futuristic style to it, like the beautiful curvature of everything, lovely looking sofas and minimalist styles in a lot of cases. The production design on it is absolutely gorgeous, but like it's not a film that is just about the look. There is some substance to it as well. Like was known from the trailers, plot of the movie is that the Fantastic Four are here and they're protecting Earth. They are actually the only superheroes in this world by all accounts. And then the Silver Surfer arrives, woke, of course.
Now they're a woman.
I'm sure Dean Cain will complain about that one as well. Or no, maybe it'll be Lawrence Fishburne will complain that it's going back from our original casting. I don't think so, because Larry Fishburne's a nice guy. But the Silver Surfer comes down to herald, and actually never called the Silver Surfer, to herald the coming of Galactus. And Galactus is going to come, and as we know from the comic books, he's going to eat the Earth.
Nom 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 nom.
And it's up to the Fantastic Four to stop that.
Yeah, and he is full-on Galactus. Again, we know this from the trailers. He's a massive dude.
He's not a big cloud.
With a pointy hat.
It is beautiful MCU. We're not going to be ashamed of this comic book design. We're going to do it exactly as Jack Kirby intended it to look on the screen, but we are going to make it look real. As opposed, he's not like in bright purple and bright blue. He does look like a machine. He looks like a god sort of walking through, and it's actually like really cool.
Yeah, he does look good. And when you first see him, I did genuinely feel happiness for Kevin Feige. I was like, you finally made a giant space dude work.
Yeah.
You've been trying for so long. The Eternals was a swing and a miss.
Yep.
But here you go. You got a giant space dude.
All you needed to do was buy the 20th Century Fox so you can get the rights back to Fantastic Four characters.
But I like the lore that they build up around the Fantastic Four about Darks. I didn't even mean to do that. About Galactus. Yeah, it's don't want to go too much into that because of course there's spoiler free territory. The Silver Surfer didn't quite work for me. It's not because she's a woman now. It's just because I didn't feel I feel like there's a lot of tragedy within the Silver Surfer character. And he's a pretty easy character to do right because they have sacrificed themselves to save their planet, and they are now the worked over baby face in the heel, like they've got this heel awful manager, and they've just got to do their they're the servant, aren't they?
Yeah.
And get these new worlds for Galactus to eat.
Yeah.
And just here, I never got my teeth into this Silver Surfer.
I think that's fair. I know, so I don't think that she's given enough screen time to really warrant that. Like, I'd say there's only like a handful of scenes where she gets to dive in, or actually the movie gets to dive into that side of the character. And when I say a handful, I probably one hand could probably hold on to the scenes that she has to do that. And I think that's because it's one of the shorter MCU movies. I think it's like in the bottom 5 of shortest MCU movies. And even then, I'd say it felt a bit long at times.
Oh, really? I thought it zipped past. I've got no complaints about the pacing here.
It's only when I was towards the end of that second act where I was like, it's not that I was waiting for it to end, but I was like, well, I know that this is going to lead to this, so let's just get to that bit. Maybe that's kind of harsh on me, but I felt that it was not too long, but it felt longer than it probably was actually for its runtime. But so it's got a lot of plates to spin. It's got a lot of things to juggle within this shorter runtime than most MCU movies, and because of that, things like Silver Surfer and some other things that we could talk about in the spoiler full version, I think sort of fall by the wayside a little bit. It's actually only been one of them, actually.
I will say Silver Surfer is gotten over really well as this kind of unstoppable Terminator badass. Yeah. They can't escape her.
The big action scene that they have with the Silver Surfer is one of the best things in the movie. I loved it. Yeah.
Light on action. There's only 2 action scenes.
Yeah, I suppose because there's all the ones in the start of like in the montage, because you have like loads of nods to the original comic series, a lot of like classic Fantastic Four characters being referenced, Fantastic Four villains being referenced. One of them is actually featured within the movie by Paul Walterhausen. But it's got some action scenes there, but then it really is only those other two. The one that comes in the middle of the movie, and then the one that comes at the end.
And I don't hate. I wasn't sitting there going, "Oh, where's the next action scene?" I was really enjoying the family dynamics. I could honestly watch a film of Johnny and Thing just bickering like brothers back and forth. They get that down perfectly. I think Reed in general, and Sue to an extent, are hard to do characters. From the comics I've read, that they're in danger of becoming quite bland. Mm-hmm. I really liked what they did with them here. I think Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby's performances are great. The version of the characters that they've done gives Sue a lot to do. Yeah. I would say she's actually kind of the leader of the group, which is nice to see. In an unforced way as well. Mm-hmm. Not a Disney woke agenda way, however you want to say.
They all line up in Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, oh, God, I hate that scene. But Reed as well, they really effectively get over this idea that, because he's so smart, and he's like, but I should figure everything out though. Mm. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, and because he's about to become a dad as well, I imagine those two things come quite nicely.
Oh, I completely understand. Yeah,
I'm assuming that you feel both incredibly responsible and helpless at the same time.
Yeah,
and that's what Reed has at his core here.
As the smartest man in this room, who is also a father, like I completely understand the trauma that Reed has to go through. I think Pascal does it so well across the movie. He has so many scenes where, through not actually saying dialogue, as an audience, he's already thought of what the plan is. He just doesn't want to say what the plan is because he doesn't want that to be the plan. And the reason why he's not saying it is not just, I don't want to do this. It's because he's trying to think of another plan. It's like, I can think of another way around this.
And it's you've got a lot of comic book characters like that. Of course, Tony, super smart. He figures out all the possibilities. You've got Bruce, again, he's got plans upon plans upon plans.
Doctor Strange, because he can see various things.
Yeah. But Reed, when Reed's done really well, I feel this is that version of him where he's just a mechanic. Like, he's just trying to figure, he's a problem solver.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, but I guess that's the way, but I don't want it to be the way. I think they treat Reed really well. They treat all the characters really well.
Yeah.
Johnny as well, he can be quite obnoxious sometimes. They never really lean into that side of him. He's more, he's the brother who feels a little bit out of place amongst all these super geniuses, but he tries to prove himself.
But he himself, I think, has got the smarts about him. Like, he has his own little character arc and direction that he can go down, which isn't just the template thing to do with Johnny Storm is he's the brash, arrogant one, and he just likes the women, and the women like him. But while doing that, they kind of actually poke fun at that a little bit, while at the same time, he is also an astronaut. He is a smart man who is a smart person amongst the fantastic. He's not Reed Richards smart, but he is as smart as Ben, and he's as smart as Sue. Like, he's not like just, he's the brash, arrogant guy who says flame on.
And them as a family unit, them as a superhero unit, they bicker, but they never fall out, really. And especially in that middle action scene, watching them all work together, and it's not in a way where they're using their powers. They're just using, this is what I'm really good at as a human before I got my powers.
Yeah.
I was like, this is really good superhero stuff.
I love that. I actually, that middle point of the movie is probably my favorite thing coming out of it. Like, in terms of like the spectacle of it all, because I really enjoyed all the family dynamics and the visual design and the music and everything. But as like an action scene, I'd actually say that action scene is better than all the ones from Superman. But overall, I preferred Superman.
Sure.
I preferred that one more. I preferred that one to like the final fight scene of Superman.
1A?
Or A1.
1A? 1A? I disagree, but I did really like it. Before we wrap up here and go over to patreon.com/cutscene for the spoiler full version, where would you rank this in the MCU? Is the feeling back?
Well,
because we've had Thunderbolts.
I was going to say
that was a perfectly fine film.
I felt that the feeling was back after Thunderbolts. I loved Thunderbolts so much that it made me excited to see Fantastic Four. Like, that was one of the first things I said to my wife when I got back from the cinema. Is I liked it so much because it made me want to see more Marvel movies. It kind of really took me back to that pre-end games. Like, oh man, I can't wait to see the next one. And I kind of still am in that vibe. You know, I'm super excited to see the new Spider-Man movie, particularly now that John Bernthal is in there as the Punisher as well. I think that's as a street level Spider-Man movie. I'm super into that. It's basically going to be a preview of the Odyssey.
I didn't think of that.
Also, what a trailer for it as well, which is just John Bernthal just doing his own voice. It's like you don't even say, "Hey, I'm Greek."
Yeah. And it's a year away. These are the only clips we've got. That's what I get from the Odyssey trailer.
So I'd say I think the feeling is back. But then it's odd because we've got Spider-Man, then it's Doomsday, and then it's Secret Wars, and then I think we're probably done because I think that Marvel are heading towards hitting a bit of a reset button. Kevin Feige is not using the R word. He is not rebooting it. But he is saying that we're going to be recasting Iron Man. We're going to recast Captain America. They tried to do replacements of like leveling characters up, B-level characters up into the A position. That clearly has not worked. So the next step of that, it's been 20 years, is just to press the little reset button and reboot this franchise and start again from new. So I am kind of looking at Secret Wars as the end. So it's kind of hard to get excited the feeling being back when there are 3 movies left, kind of in my mindset at the moment, based upon conversations that Kevin Feige has had in interviews.
But where would you put it, though?
I need to actually go back to my letterbox and find, because I do have a ranking, but I haven't updated it for probably like post-Endgame, so I need to add in like all the guff that's come since
pushes
then.
Everything else up, doesn't it?
Well, it'll really fill out that mid portion. I think it's really going to put, obviously, Doctor Strange and Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2 will just continue to tumble further down, and Thor Love and Thunder will tumble further down as well. I am one of those people that thinks that Doctor Strange is in the sort of bottom 5 previously, is now be in the bottom 10, I guess. So I think it's probably in the 18 to 14 section.
How many we got? Is it 30?
I think it's like 30 films,
something.
30 something now. Like, I don't think it's not cracking the top 10, but I don't think it's also going to be in the 20s somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, where Black Widow probably is.
Mid. You've slotted it in.
Yeah, I think it's a 3.5 star movie.
And where would you put Thunderbolts? I think Thunderbolts is much better than this.
I enjoyed Thunderbolts more than this, yeah. I think Thunderbolts might be one of those ones that... Actually, there's probably loads of films that are cracking that top 10 or nearly cracking that top 10 that can't quite get there. So I don't know. I'll have to re-look at my rankings of it. What about you? Where are you slotting it?
I'm going to put it pretty similar. Definitely in the middle third, but probably bang in the middle of the middle third as well. So probably in that 18 to 14 slot.
Well, that's it. So it's... We said at the top of this episode, or rather I said at the top of this episode, like back in the day, between 2008 and 2019, Marvel just made loads of 4-star movies. So when one comes out that's 3.5-star movies, even if that 3.5-star movie is way better than all the 2-star movies they have made post-Endgame, or a large portion of them being 2-star movies, Shang-Chi obviously is...
It's a great film.
It's still the best one of Phase 4. It's not going to compete with all those 4-star movies that came out pre-Endgame. Mm-hmm. But I did very much enjoy it. I had a really good time with it. I think Pedro Pascal's brilliant. I think Joseph Quinn's great. I thought Vanessa Kirby actually might be my favorite thing coming out of the movie. I thought she was tremendous in this movie. And I'm so excited to see Doomsday. But I was already excited to see Doomsday. I don't know if this has leveled up my excitement to see, if that makes sense.
Well, I think Doomsday is very important when we're going to be talking about the spoiler full review. So yes, head over to patreon.com/cutscene right now, because we're going to be going into all of our spoiler full thoughts on Fantastic Four and how that connects to everything in the larger Marvel tapestry. But also click on the screen now if you haven't watched our Superman review. Was it good? But yeah, in one word, Fantastic Four, is it good?
Yes.
Yes.